Hello, welcome to Mount Tabor Grand Lodge video channel. As always, we are happy to bring another video to you. I do ask that you go to Amazon.com. You can type in my name, Herbert Ware, or you can type in the titles of my two books and support us that way. Also, if you enjoy what we've done, not forget the enjoyment. If what we've put on videos have been beneficial to you and you feel compelled to aid and assist us in bringing the word further, then you can donate some monies, whatever your heart feels is proper. Okay? All you have to do is dial 281-704-7541. Send a text message, GIVE, to 281-524-4344. And we certainly will appreciate it. We are looking to bring you more information, okay? And in fact, we're going to be making efforts to bring you exclusive content information. So this video today is going to step on some toes, might make some people mad or a little angry, and all I can tell you is, oh well, okay, because the beginning of the year I told the lodge three things. Number one, I was going to always try and carry myself as a grandmaster. Number two, it's my duty and job to try and create an environment that promotes growth among the members. And number three, I would not lie to them. So I'm trying to honor those three promises to everybody and everyone I meet. So here's what's happening today. My grandson is 17 years old. So therefore, the world is his oyster. All he has to do is shuck it. Okay? And yes, I've been told I'm a hard taskmaster. But my vision right about now is to help that 17-year-old become a man. And see, there's a difference between a man and a male. And likewise, there's a difference between a Masonic male and a Masonic man. So let's kind of look at this thing because, and as we're going through it, as I'm going through it, I want you to think about some of the Masons and the brothers that you've been around. Because again, as another video said, the importance of critical thinking, we have to make decisions. You have people that you are supposed to fellowship with, you're supposed to do business with, you're supposed to create bonds with. And so you have to make a decision. But that decision should be made based on fact, okay? And a person's actions give you the facts and the doctrine that they live by. So let's get into this. Okay. 3 times you ask. Now I'm talking to Masons. 3 times you ask. 3 times in your Masonic journey you ask, so help me God and keep me steadfast. Now, when we talk about so help me God, keep me steadfast, and then I start off talking about Masonic males versus Masonic men. Let's go back a little bit. A male person is a man or a boy designed with a projecting part for fitting into a corresponding female part, having the qualities such as vigor or boldness, sometimes associated with male sex. An individual of the sex that is typically capable of producing small, usually moving cells such as sperm or spermatozoa, which fertilize the eggs of the female. Now that's a male person. But now let's talk about a man, an individual human, especially an adult male human, designed with a projecting part for fitting into a corresponding female part. Same. The individual who can fulfill or who has been chosen to fulfill one's requirements one possessing in high degree qualities considered distinctive to manhood, such as courage, strength, and vigor. So, as you can see, there's a difference between a male person and a man. And I say again, 3 times you ask. So, help me, God, and keep me steadfast. Here's the question: did you ask that question as a Masonic male or a Masonic man? When you ask that question, and if you ask yourself that now, are you asking as a Masonic male or a Masonic man? Let's dive into this a little bit. So help me God, okay? That implies that you are a seeker of more. And when you look at Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6, it tells us to trust in the Lord in all thy ways, acknowledge him, and he will straight our path, straight your path. So once the veil was torn from top to bottom, no longer did we need an interpreter or an intercessor. See, we're free as Master Masons to establish a personal relationship with our Father, with God, with deity. John 14:14, Jesus said, if you ask me anything in my name, I will do it. So now we said, we ask, so help me God. And in John 14:16, and I will ask the Father, and he will give you another helper to be with you forever. So that means in our search, we should have a helper with us. And if once you get to the second degree, you begin to see evidences of God's presence in your life, or you should see it if you're being taught properly through the utilizing of the fruit of the Spirit. So by the time you get to Master Mason, you should have a working relationship with God Almighty. Now that's the way this thing is Masonry is supposed to work. Okay, you come in asking for help. Second degree, you should be seeing some of the fruit of the Spirit, and the third degree, you should be in a working relationship with God. You see, a Masonic man is one that have asked for and accepted the challenge to be uncomfortable by submitting himself all over again to being a student. You have to be willing to be a student. You go back in time, at least mentally, and learn the truths that have been ever present but rarely seen. They've been ever present, but even our parents weren't teaching us the truth. They were constantly telling us what we cannot do, and so forth. So a Masonic man asks for and accept help. A Masonic man is willing to allow the gavel and the chisel to be used on his mental and spiritual character to create good fruit. And that means an upright heart, upright in thoughts, words, and deeds. So during his lifetime, he will become more like a walking epistle, which is a walking book. And that means he should be recognized as such. So when we say, so help me God, a Masonic man who has truly learned to subdue his passions and have improved himself in Masonry can ask that question flat-footed and stand and feel assured that he's going to get aid and assistance from on high. So you see, the Masonic man asked that question, so help me God, so he can become of better use to God and to man. Now the second part of that is, and keep me. So help me God and keep me. That means, in my interpretation, keep me in possession of power and control. 2 Timothy 1:7 says, for God gave us the Spirit, not of fear, but of power and love and self-control. You have to decide with your conscious mind Now, James 2:26 says, the body separated from the spirit is dead. We just said God gave us a spirit. So if you separate your body from your spirit, the spirit that God gave you, then you're in trouble. I'm telling you. Joshua 1:9 says, have I not commanded you? Be strong, be courageous, do not be frightened, do not be dismayed, for the Lord God is with you wherever you go. Remember, be strong, be courageous. If we go back to the definition of a Masonic man, he's courageous, he's strong, and he's full of vigor. So he has all that God put in him. A Masonic man is one whose moral compass is in line with that of his creator and not his environment. Remember, you were told, you should have been told, as Masons, we're in the world, but not of the world. So the bottom line is, you are not a product of your environment, but rather a product of your decisions. So we might have to adjust our decisions. A man that know within himself and know that within him is the spirit of all truth. A man can know within himself all truths because he knows the spirit of all truths is in him. So a Masonic man has a profound faith in God. Now, when we talk about the faith in God, that means it might not look good, okay? You can't see the forest for the trees. The trees might be very big. However, you got faith to know that you're going to get through it. That Psalms 23 is a perfect example. If you ever dissect that, yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, etc., 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 you will see that it requires faith to walk as a Masonic man. He knows that man is not the highest being in nature's evolutionary process, but that he has the potentiality of becoming so. If a Masonic man chooses if he chooses the moral and constructive pathway that leads to the higher planes of spiritual development, light, and truth as laid before him by God. Now, as a Master Mason, you're supposed to be able to, again, communicate, and be in relationship with God. A Masonic man has a solid foundation for life through the acceptance of good and evil fortune with calm emotions. A Masonic male go all over the scale with their emotions, but a Masonic man has a solid foundation for life through the acceptance of good and evil fortune with calm emotions. So I'm telling you how a Masonic man should be acting and conduct themselves. He knows that light and shadow, good and evil, prosperity and adversity are to be expected equally. For out of adversity, prosperity rises. For out of adversity, prosperity rises. So, keep me in possession of power and control, because I know if I exemplify what power I have and what control I have, no matter what the circumstances are, I'm going to come out prosperous. And the last part is steadfast. So help me, God, and keep me steadfast. Steadfast, we're talking about being firmly fixed in place. Anytime you have faith, we know that you can stand, okay? But again, a Masonic male has all kinds of emotions. I think, I feel, they say, they think, they feel. That's the Masonic male. That's the approach they use. Rather than saying, this is it. Here's the deal, okay? Make the statement, let your yeas be yea, your nays be nay. Now, if you're wrong, back up and correct it. Don't be arrogant and prideful because none of us know everything. But again, what you commit to, commit to. Okay? 1 Corinthians 1:16-13. Be watchful, stand firm in faith, act like men, be strong. We have today Masonic males and Masonic men. Brothers, you want to be around Masonic men. So you might want to check your environment. A Masonic man is one who is guided by an unseen spirit towards balance in his spiritual, family, financial, physical, and social life, and has committed to the rigorous test of becoming the conveyor of love and light to others by choosing to be molded by truth, love, and faith. And that the first word is paramount, truth. You can't love if you don't deal with truth. You don't have faith if you can't deal with truth, can't accept truth. So understand that. James 1:12 tells us, blessed is the man who remains steadfast under trial. For when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life which God has promised to those who love him. So again, we're told to stand steadfast. James 1, verses 2 and 4. Now this is powerful because it says, count all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. Again, adversity brings prosperity. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. So help me God and keep me steadfast. If you hold on to that prayer, that request, so help me God and keep me steadfast, you're going to evolve into a Masonic man. And when you evolve into that Masonic man, you're going to be able to get things done. You're going to be able to make things happen. That's what we try and teach at Mount Tabor Grand Lodge, is to capture the power and the control of your environment, of your situations, of your life. So, and I'm not saying everything is smooth all the time. That's why we say count it all joy when you encounter any type of trials or adversities. You see, a Masonic man is a man that poverty and death has no terrors for him. He's not scared of that, nor can the present or imminent threat of poverty and death deter him from his duty or induce him to betray a trust. His integrity is dearer to him than his life. Now, I'm talking some real Masonic stuff here. Integrity, a Mason's integrity, means more to him than his life. A Masonic man realizes that all life forms within his area of influence are depending on him to be set apart, devoted, and working in alignment with the truths of God. So now you can't be vacillating from one end to the other. Yes today, no tomorrow. One of the most frustrating type of people to deal with is one that sits in your face and say, yeah, man, I think you're right, Grand. I think you're right, worse, brother, you right, and then turn right back around and do something different. You got to be in alignment with the truths of God. A Masonic man is the rock. He's the rock in his family. He's a rock on his job. He's a rock in his church. He lives by a doctrine or a system of moral conduct that reaches into the heavens. So now this is a tall bill to be a Masonic man, but it's a very worthwhile journey. So let me sum it up this way. A Masonic man is a man of means. A Masonic man is a man of prayer. A Masonic man is a man among men. So a Masonic man is a man who has truly learned to subdue his passions and has improved himself in Masonry so that he is of better use to God and man. So, having said all of this, a Mason is not perfect, nor is anyone else. But a Masonic man, once realizing an error, will seek to correct it and make it right. Masonic men get things done. So the question is, are you a Masonic male or are you a Masonic man? We're looking we need Masonic men. The world needs Masonic men. So which side of the fence do you fall? Thank you very much.